the psychological effects of gangstalking, and how to reclaim your mind back. Hello, this is Veronica, and on this channel, we talk about spirituality, mental health, and psychology. So together, we can evolve as a community that's unstoppable. Let me tell you, on this channel's called Veronica's Journal, and everything in my journal comes to YouTube. So everything that I talk about, I have experienced it, been through it, done it, whatever it is. So if I don't have the first-hand experience, I do not talk about it. So without further ado, let's get started. The psychological effects of gangstalking. Reclaiming your mind after there's kind of a psychological warfare that most people can't even imagine until they've lived through it. It's invisible, it's silent, and yet it infiltrates every corner of your mind. I'm talking about gangstalking, and the way it gets inside your head, distorts your sense of safety, and tries to break your spirit from the inside out. People they think, oh, it's just paranoia. They tell you to just let it go. But you can't just let go of something that's living in your nervous system, rewiring your brain through constant fear and manipulation. Because gangstalking isn't only physical or social, it's psychological. It's meant to crush the part of you that knows truth from illusion, that knows light from darkness. And the worst part, it's not just about being watched or followed. It's about being psychologically cornered. You start doubting your own perceptions, and that's where the real damage begins. You see, when someone or an entire network of people plays with your reality long enough, your mind begins to fracture in tiny, invisible ways. You become hypervigilant. Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. You're analyzing every sound, every glance, every shadow. You're not just living life anymore. You're scanning for danger 24/7. That's psychological torture, plain and simple. Because the human brain isn't built to stay on high alert forever. Your mind starts collapsing under the pressure. You begin questioning yourself, replaying every event, every look, every coincidence. Oh, did that really happen? Was that person following me? Am I losing my mind? That loop, it becomes the soundtrack of your life. That's not the way to live. And this is exactly what the gangstalkers want. Confusion, exhaustion, isolation. They want to separate you from your intuition, from your sense of self. Because once they break your trust in your own perception, they own you psychologically. It's psychological warfare designed to erase your confidence and make you compliant through chaos. Your friends start to drift away because they can't see what you see. People call you crazy. And that word becomes a knife that cuts deeper than the harassment itself. It isolates you. It makes you silent. And in that silence, your mind becomes both your prison and your only companion. What most people don't realize is that gangstalking doesn't just traumatize, it reprograms you. You begin to anticipate danger even when there's none. You lose the ability to rest, to feel safe in your own body, in your own home. Your nervous system becomes addicted to fear, and trauma starts looping itself over and over until even peace feels foreign. You can't trust peace when you've been conditioned to expect war. But here's the thing. What they don't tell you is that your mind, even after everything it's been through, is capable of rebuilding itself. The same mind they tried to destroy is the one that can save you. Reclaiming your mind after covert abuse starts with one brutal truth. You have to stop blaming yourself for surviving in chaos. It's not your fault. You didn't become paranoid. You adapted. You didn't lose trust. You protected yourself from betrayal. You didn't go crazy. You learned to read energy because you had to. Everything they told you was weakness is actually proof of how intuitive, aware, and resilient you are. When you start understanding trauma psychology, you realize what they did was systematic conditioning. They kept your mind in a constant loop of hyper arousal and fear, and you internalize the chaos. And once you internalize it, you become your own warden. You start controlling yourself from them. That's the sick genius of psychological warfare. They make you silence yourself. But awareness is the antidote. The moment you begin to see the patterns clearly, the emotional hooks, the mental games, the gaslighting, something shifts. You stop being the experiment and you start becoming the observer. You realize your mind isn't broken. It's just overstimulated. It's not weak. It's wounded. And wounds can heal when they're seen in the truth. Your brain can rewire. Your nervous system can calm. Your spirit can rise again, stronger, wiser, and quieter. Let's be real. Recovery isn't easy. There are days you'll still look over your shoulder, still flinch suddenly due to noises, still wonder if you can trust anyone anymore. That's normal. That's trauma memory, trying to keep you safe. But healing begins when you stop feeding the fear. Every time you ground yourself by breathing, by meditating, by journaling or praying, you're teaching your nervous system that safety exists again. Every time you tell yourself, I survived, you're rewriting your brain's narrative from victim to warrior. And every time you speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, you're breaking the silence that kept you imprisoned. The psychological effects of gangstalking are deep. CPTSD, hypervigilance, insomnia, dissociation, a constant state of scanning for threat, even in peace. But these are not permanent scars. They're temporary distortions in a nervous system that's been overloaded. What they didn't expect is the same mind that they targeted would become unbreakable through self-awareness. When you start understanding your own trauma response, when you learn the language of your fear, you begin to take back control. You learn to separate what's happening outside from what's happening inside. And once that awareness comes, their power collapses because control thrives in confusion, but confusion can't survive in consciousness. You start grounding yourself in small truths, simple ones like, I'm here. I can think for myself. I can breathe freely. Those may sound small, but they're psychological weapons of light. They are how you begin to reprogram your mind that's been programmed to fear. You start recognizing manipulation tactics, the gaslighting, the smear campaigns, the isolation attempts, and you stop reacting emotionally to every trigger because you realize reaction is what feeds them. Calm awareness starves them. That's when the balance of power shifts. You move from fear to observation, from reaction to discernment, from being hunted to being awakened. You reclaim your mind not by fighting them, but by mastering your inner world. And let's talk about that spiritual layer for a moment. Because while all this is deeply psychological, it's also energetic. Gangstalking is an energy game. It's designed to drain your light, to make you emit low frequencies of fear and confusion. But when you begin healing, when you return to your center, that energy no longer sticks. You stop vibrating on their frequency. You stop participating in their reality. And that's when the chains begin to break. Not externally first, but internally. Psychologically, healing from gangstalking means reclaiming trust, not in others first, but in yourself. You rebuild self-trust by keeping promises to yourself. Rest when you say you will. Eat when your body asks for it. And stop explaining your pain to people committed to misunderstanding you. Start listening to your own intuition again. It's your inner compass back to sanity. Because deep down, that's what they wanted to destroy, your trust in your intuition. They wanted you second-guessing your every thought. But that intuition is divine technology. It's your built-in protection system, and it's still there, under the noise, under the fear, under the trauma. When you begin to trust it again, the fog lifts. You stop questioning every coincidence. You start seeing patterns clearly, and your mind, that once felt fragmented, begins to unify again. You realize that reclaiming your mind isn't about going back to who you were before the abuse. It's about becoming someone wiser than before it ever began. Someone who can see through the manipulation in all its form, emotional, mental, energetic. Someone who has met darkness and chosen consciousness instead. And one day, maybe not soon, but one day, you'll notice something quietly miraculous. You'll wake up and fear won't be the first thing you feel. You'll walk outside and your body won't tense. You'll see the world not as a battlefield, but as a place where you get to exist freely again. That's when you know the reprogramming is complete. You've reclaimed your mind. You've taken back your power, and you're no longer living as a target. You're living as a survivor turned master of awareness. So if you're listening to this and you're still in that psychological storm, hold on. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You're healing from an invisible war most people can't even comprehend. You're untangling manipulation from intuition, fear from awareness, chaos from consciousness, and every single breath you take in. Self-awareness is rebellion against what they tried to do to you. You're not what happened to you. You are what rose up from what happened to you. Your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally once you understand it. And your truth, your lived, raw, unapologetic truth is the weapon they can never take from you. So breathe deeply. Ground yourself in this moment. You survive the mind games. You're rebuilding your reality from inside out. And that is power they can never touch. See, you're not alone in this. You're part of a silent generation of souls waking up to manipulation and reclaiming your consciousness. Your mind is sacred, and no one, no system, no network can own what you awaken to. Stand tall in your awareness. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. And remember, they wanted to break you, but all they did was wake you. If this video resonated with you, please smash the like button, because when you smash the like button, YouTube will share it with other viewers who really need it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe now. And also share it with one other person, because when you share it with one other person, have a good day, guys. Love you all. Until next time. Take care.